Hello everyone. So we have recently launched a lot of newer updates on Promo X CRM, and this video is regarding that only. Here I will cover all the recent updates that we have made, and if you need any further guidance, feel free to contact us via email or phone call. We're always here to help. So to start, we have added banner images on documents. For that, you can go to settings, more settings, projects, preview banners, and here you can add your banner. For example, I've added an example image here. I can upload the image here. I can decide if it is a header image or a footer image, or if it is both, then I can select this one. I can name it as well. So if I want it to be both, I can select that. This is the image which I have uploaded, and now this image will show up as header and footer on my presentations and uh, sales orders and things like that. After this, we have pop-up notes. So sometimes it does happen that you have certain clients who have specific requirements or you are on special terms with them, and there are certain procedures that need to be followed. And your team members or you yourself might not always remember that. For that, we have pop-up notes now. So when you go to your clients list, you can select those particular clients, and now we have a section. We are calling it client notes. Whatever you put in here under the client notes will always pop up on your newly created projects regarding those clients. So if, let's say, this particular client, you have decided that you will not proceed until you have received the prepayment. So you can just type in the message that do not proceed until prepayment received. So whenever anyone in your team opens up this project, this pop-up note will always populate, reducing the chances of error or negligence. Then we have recently added a satellite view for pre-production as well. So this was a common request for everyone that we have a satellite view for post-production, which means that once you place a purchase order, all of your orders show up here. But what about the orders which are not yet there, which are still stuck on presentation stage or maybe on quotations, or maybe you're still negotiating with your clients? For those, we have recently launched pre-production satellite view, where you'll be able to see all of your uh, CRM projects, all of your web store projects which you have not processed, and of course your leads as well. You have your filters up above for your clients, reps, for a particular date range. But of course, we are adding more and more functionalities here. So if you have any requests or you think that adding this to our pre-production satellite screen will help us a lot, then you can let us know and we'll definitely consider that. Then we have recently added tags feature on projects, because this was a request from a lot of our users that they not only create a specific kind of project, but they want uh, they want to be able to add tags to the project. So let me show you how you can do that. Whenever you are creating projects, under the project details, you can choose to add a tag. These tags you can add from your settings, and you can tag certain projects. For example, if you want to specifically tag apparel projects, projects done for maybe bidding for a government agency, or maybe some specific purpose, or doing for a specific industry or a production line, you can tag them differently, which will make it a lot easier for you to generate reports at the end of your fiscal year, or maybe if you want to see what kind of projects you are doing the most, and maybe your next financial year, you can plan accordingly. After this, we had received a few requests for copying web stores. So until now, you could create a web store, you can delete, or if you want to create a new one, you have to make it from scratch. But let's say you have created a certain type of web store for one of your clients, and now you want to create a similar web store, or maybe you just want to create exactly the same one. Now you had to create again from the scratch. Now we have given you the option to copy. So if you have a certain type of store, you can just simply click on this copy image. You can even select different template. You can change the store name, select a different client, a different rep for this one, and even assign it a password if you want to, and then hit save. So all of your other preferences, products, you don't have to copy or create from the scratch. It will be all copied from store 1 to store 2 that you're newly creating. Besides this, we have made several minor fixes as well. For example, on lead pages, and up earlier, whenever you opened up your leads, the lead name did not fully populate here, so which was a bit confusing for certain users. We have added that. When you send out emails, as you know that when you send out emails, we have given you the liberty to choose between different email addresses from your teams. However, it does show under the logs who was the one who sent the emails. But when we checked on the email sent, it did not show from which email address it was sent. But now it will show up which email address was used to send out that email, which will make it easier for the entire team to understand who did what. And again, a few minor fixes as well. A few of our users asked that our clients and suppliers list, they should all be in alphabetical order, which was done. Email template subject lines. So this earlier you could still add your email templates. Yes, when you go to more settings, projects, email templates. But earlier you could not assign them a specific subject line, which you can now. So if you have any email templates, certain ones, when you try to reach out to your prospects, when you're doing a follow-up with them, you can give it a certain subject line so it automatically populates and you don't have to type it in or copy. After this, we had a request for client portals. So on client portals till now, for your clients, let me open up and show. You could assign client portals to your users, but you could not change the password, and it was of course a system generated random number, which was according to our users, it was very complex and did not look good to them, so they wanted ability to edit the password, which you can now. So there it helps. Now one more thing which we added is adding categories on presentations. So for example, on your presentations, any of your clients have asked you for multiple things. For example, they're asking you to share an entire presentation with some golf kits, some sunglasses, or some pens. So you can, of course, throw in all the items in a single presentation, but you can segregate the categories. So, example, if you add sunglasses, it will create a different section for that, and on the presentation, it will show segregated, which will make it look neater and easier to find products. Now, one more thing which we have added is that sometimes we do receive payments through different means, not always through Stripe or Promo X CRM or through your accounting platform. And then we have to manually add the payment on the system. For example, if I'm doing add payment here and I add it here, earlier it used to send out the email notification to your client that the payment has been received, and not always the payment was received exactly at the same time. So it did happen that maybe you are entering or reconciling your accounts a month later, which created confusion that why am I receiving the email now when I have already paid it a month earlier. So here you can choose if you want to send out the email to your client or not that their payment has been received. So now you're under control. Now, other thing was that some of our users said that not always they send the product purchase order to the same vendor. For example, they found the exact same item from a different vendor at a cheaper price or maybe a faster production time. So for that, they wanted to be able to change the vendor for that particular item. So for example, I have this particular item from Mixi. Now I want it to generate a purchase order from maybe a different vendor. So I can go to shipping. I can choose a different vendor from here, and whatever I select and save, and then I click on generate purchase order, the vendor which I have selected is the one I'm going to get the purchase order of. One more thing which I wanted to add is email notifications. So when you go to settings, more settings, projects, we have a new section of email notifications where you can choose these certain automatic notifications which you go out, and you can choose how you'd like it to say. For example, proofing. Once your proof has been approved, or when it goes out, what it shows and what it writes down, you can choose here. Of course, we are going to be adding more notifications here with time, but right now we have started this section, so feel free to explore that. Besides this, if you need anything, if you have any questions, you want a more hands-on training on any of this, feel free to email us or call us anytime. We are always here to help. Good day, everyone.